The foundation coming at you with my continuing actually my videos of division winners. Today's gonna be the AFC and NFC North. Get right into it. The AFC, the Browns, I have them coming in last. Kind of no shocker there, new coach, new quarterback, Josh Gordon coming back. Defense is not that good, but they look like they're gonna be a fun team to watch a little bit. They're not going to win too much games, but they might be a team that where you kind of go, where out of nowhere, Chris Berman going to be saying 1 week, and that's why they play the games. Yeah, they're going to have that one good upset. Not going to be against the Cowboys, but yeah, they might have a big upset somewhere coming in. And then talking about that, they might have 2 top 5 picks. I wonder why. But anyway, I got them finishing last. The next 3 is, I won't be surprised if one or the other wins the division, but it's gonna be a close race. This is a very tough division, but I go by questions. How much questions do they have? The Ravens have probably the most of the 3. Steve Smith coming back from major injury. T. Suggs coming back from major injury. It's for the position that he plays. Flacco also coming back from injury. So T. Suggs and Steve Smith has been guys that always come back strong. Always defying the age thing and all that. But you never know when that streak is going to end, and that's a big question for them, and then how Flacco has always been that a guy that wins games, but he's not a guy that can carry the team, and their defense has always been rock solid. It's not as playmaking as before, so how does it work, for them, but again, very physical team. They're not gonna back down to anybody, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do pull out the division. It's just the questions that I could not put them above the other 2. Steelers, I almost had picked them to win the division, but then they started getting the drama news as well too. One other team that's getting the drama news, Martavius Bryant gone due to suspension. I like Martavius Bryant. When he was getting drafted, I joked around on Twitter and Facebook. I joked around saying, "Oh, how would be Bryant and Bryant's thing coming around?" That would have been kind of fun. But it was kind of fortunate we did, because then we would have another player on our list with suspensions. Le'Veon Bell, he's been their all-purpose guy. They got Williams, but Le'Veon Bell is kind of like that playmaker kind of guy. So the drop-off is not that much, but at the same time, what Le'Veon Bell brings to that team is a different dimension. And with Ben Roethlisberger, he's one of the better quarterbacks in our era. The only problem lately is he hasn't been able to to play all 16 games, and they've been able to survive so far. But lately, I mean, this preseason, it does not give them maybe that continue for them. So with that, they might lose some games where it might cost them at the end. So that's why I couldn't pick them for the, on top of that, they have a young defense, starting to come into their own. And the unfortunate thing for them was that Dupree got injured. So it's another big blow to that team again. In another injury. So yeah, I would have picked them to win the division, but can't now because again, questions and all that. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win them. Now it goes to the Bengals. The Bengals have a couple of questions, but theirs is like, because Andy Dalton has always been okay. With Hugh Jackson, he's been, he became a good quarterback. Um, he's more of a manager like Alex Smith, and he got playmakers around him all over the place, from tight end to wide receivers to, they lost some wide receivers, but they still find a way to find them. And, and they have a couple good running backs. Defense, Marvin Lewis's signature is that, even though they lost Zimmer, but, Marvin Lewis has always been a defensive-minded coach. So and so that's the questions that the big question is how did they replace their talent, and how can Andy Dalton do without Hugh Jackson. He was like here, and then he went here, then now he's back down to here probably, but they've been able to go to the playoffs, regardless, so, and win the division regardless, so, so that's why I got them winning the division. Until somebody throws them off, you kind of go against them. NFC North now, I got the Lions finishing last. A lot of turnover in the team defensively and offensively. Megatron retired. I don't know if Haloti Ngata retired. He might be still with the team. I'm not sure. I forget. I didn't really look that up before I made this video, or before the season was going on, and the off season while it was going on. But yeah, they got one. Again, the defense has been okay. Offensively, you lose that big weapon in Megatron. It's like now you take that one explosion. They've been trying to change their identity, I guess, into more of a balanced attack, but their offensive line hasn't meshed up yet. Ebron is a beast. Golden Tate has always been that scrappy guy. Stafford, again, he's more like Joe Flacco kind. He can win you games, but he's not gonna carry you into to win to the division title. So, and then with the other three teams, I just can't see them beating them. Beating those guys. To anything. But so yeah, I got on finishing last. Next, I got the Bears. You cannot put them behind, behind the other two teams, unless one of those two teams falls flat on their face. I doubt it. But Cutler coming off his most efficient year, always been great talent, but then this not efficient. Would make the big mistakes. To throw 30 interception in 1 year, man, that's a lot. But you got Jeffrey. Did he get paid? I'm not sure. But if he didn't get paid, then he's gonna be looking for that one contract. And then you got White, who missed all last season. He's gonna make his debut, and he's a pretty solid wide receiver too. I wouldn't mind having him too. Langford, they finally made the decision to move on from Forte. We see how that's done and all that. Offensive line has been okay. Their defense is okay. So they're going to have some exciting games. I just don't think they're going to be winning a lot of them. So might have some heartbreaking losses, exciting game, but heartbreaking losses for them. But not exciting nonetheless. Then I was going to have this team picked to potentially maybe get home field advantage to having first round bye, talking about the Minnesota Vikings. They're another team, one of the teams that had the fewest amount of questions until Bridgewater got hurt. Adrian Peterson, still the face of the franchise. Offensive line solid. Defensively, there's not one glaring weakness in that defense. Then you got the receiver. I think his name is Hobbs and Treadwell. I think he's gonna have something to prove, because he went from being a top 5 pick to not even being not even in top 15. He was in I think 20, 22, 23 or something like that pick, first round pick. So he might have little bit of a chip, something to prove, attitude kind of thing. They trade the thing I was shocked with them was that they traded a first round pick for Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford obviously is not a guy that can carry a team. I probably he probably would have gotten maybe a fifth round pick with me. I doubt it, but if I was that desperate as them, maybe I would have done it for a fifth round pick. But that's about it. Because he's already proven that he was supposed to be the face of the franchise for the Rams. Not done. The Eagles thing was more Chip Kelly's fault. Which I don't care. But they traded away all their playmakers for him, and and it showed right there. He has decent talent, but he's not a guy he's a game manager. That's not a bad thing, but again, at the same time, when you don't have playmakers around you, you're just not going to win games, that way. Like I said, all he has to do is hand the ball off to Adrian Peterson, get the ball to Rudolph and the two wide receivers. So they're going to be pretty solid. And, with their defense, all he has to do is not crash. That's all he has to do. Finally, the Green Bay Packers. Jordy Nelson comes back from injury. Should make Rodgers happy. The spacing on the field should be, good. Looks like Lacey finally took his off-season seriously, so he looks in good shape. According to them, he looks in like the best shape they have. So, and the offensive line is, pretty solid. Defensively, they're good. They're good, but not great. So they're gonna win the division, just because Aaron Rodgers is that top 5, top 3 quarterback out there. So you can't bet against that. Especially when you got a quarterback coming into the season now, not even having a preseason to even work with. So he's gonna be coming in and trying to help. What I was gonna do AFC East as well too, but because I want to do the NFC East by itself. So I might, if there's things worthy talking about, like the waiver wire and all that kind of stuff, I'll talk about that, mixing it with the AFC East, or just make a quick video, not take too much time on it. But yeah, mahalo for watching. Paniola boys, go Cowboys.